All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Lisa Daly, and today I am here with the awesome, incredibly talented Matt Coyle, who is author of a brand new Rick Cahill novel, Last Redemption, which is coming out this November 2021. I love this series. I'm such a fan, and I know you know this. Rick Cahill is like one of my favorite all-time PIs. So I guess before I start rambling on about the book, because I'm very excited about it, we should talk a little bit about you and your kind of awesome resume, right? You have won the Shamus Award and you've been nominated for a McCavity, the Anthony Award. What am I missing? There's another one.
Lefty,
right, exactly. So you are a multi-award winning author. What do you do with all the awards? Do you sleep with them under your pillow? Do you have like a giant room, like a shrine, a Matt Coyle shrine? What do you do with those?
Well, I have a Matt Coyle shrine, but there aren't any awards in there. There aren't that many awards. I've only won 4. But I've been nominated for a few. I've been lucky to be nominated for a few. Yeah, I've been fortunate to be nominated for a fair amount of awards, but I haven't won that many. But I was really happy that that Blind Vigil, which just came out December of last year, was nominated for a Barry Award, which is kind of a cool award put on by Deadly Pleasures magazine. So, and the award ceremony will be in BoucherCon in August in
New Orleans.
Yeah,
right. I know.
But
well,
it will be very cool and no humidity at all in August in New Orleans.
No. It's just dry as a bone in New Orleans.
Right.
In that, at the end of the summer. So that's so awesome. And I think you're being a little modest because you really have, like, I feel like every year you are nominated for usually at least one and generally more than one award. So let's just agree to disagree. I say a metric ton of awards, you say 4, but you know.
Well, the ones I've won, no, I agree. I've been fortunate to be nominated for a fair amount, but which is always mind-blowing and humbling to a degree, and very cool.
Yeah,
very lucky.
I mean, it puts you in a really select group of mystery writers. So let's talk a little bit about Last Redemption, which is book number 8, right, in the Rick Cahill crime series.
Right, 8. Yeah.
So for anybody who, I can't imagine that anybody in this crowd has not read the other books, but let's say they haven't. Can you tell us a little bit about the Rick Cahill?
Rick is a stray sex cop now 15 or 16 years after his wife was murdered in Santa Barbara. And he was arrested at the time, never tried, never released, never exonerated for many, many years. Thought to be the guy who got away with murdering his wife. He's gone back to, shortly thereafter went back to his hometown of San Diego and helped manage a restaurant managed a restaurant he worked in in high school, because he's the only guy, his friend Turk Muldoon was the only guy who would give him a job because everybody else thought he was a bad guy. So he worked there for a number of years, and then he became after something entailed in yesterday's Echo, the first book, he became a private investigator, kind of getting back to his trying to help people through some facet of law enforcement. And of course, private investigators aren't police, but they do try to find things. They try to help. They try to help people that maybe the police can't help. And so he's been a private investigator for about 7 or 8 years. And he's undergone a lot of physical trauma as a private investigator. He gets very involved in his cases. And beyond that, he was a Golden Gloves boxer. When he was a kid, he played Pop Warner football. He played probably 10 or 12 years of organized football. And all that has culminated as Last Redemption opens up into him having been diagnosed with CTE. I can't pronounce the first word, but people who follow professional football know what CTE is. It's brain trauma disease, and that is ubiquitous for anybody who's ever had, any football players ever been autopsied, where they look at his brain. Everyone has had them, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And The only way you can find out for sure if someone does have this is through an autopsy after they died. However, Rick has been diagnosed with it. It looks pretty certain that he has CTE, and he's only 42, I think, when this book opens, and the lifespan for someone with CTE, normal lifespan, is 52 years.
Right.
So aside from all that, he's actually in a very good place in his life. He's in a committed relationship with his girlfriend, and she's pregnant.
What?
And
Wait, that's a surprise, isn't it?
Well, it actually says it on the back of the book. It's on the first page, I think.
But it's a surprise here. Like if you have, because the book's not out for a couple of months. Well, wow, right? So you just broken news here at the U.S. Book Show, right?
That's what we do. So I try to do. So he's happy, and he's going to be a father. His first wife was murdered, and he didn't really have any successful relationships for the last 15 years, and now he's met Leah Landingham, and they're going to have a baby, and all things should be good. However, he's got this. He hasn't Leah yet. He hasn't even told her about the situation, and so he's got this on his mind. The baby's due in 7.5 months, maybe, and he's trying to deal with all these things. How am I going to tell her?
Right.
Because it's a degenerative disease, and dementia is generally the part of it. And he's thinking, the average is I've only got 10 years, theoretically, 10 or so years left, and what kind of father will I be able to be if I'm not cognitively all there? So he's concerned about that. But because of his getting together in a relationship, the cases he takes as a private investigator aren't as serious as they used to be. He doesn't get involved in a lot of things with his potential for injury, because his Leah would like it that way, and he's got to think, I'm having a family coming up. He does background checks. It's a fortunate thing because he has this continual work now. Does background checks for major corporations, hiring people, and money's steady. There's no danger, and that's where he is. He kind of misses the edge a little bit from doing what he used to do. But this is what I have to do. My life's changing, unfortunately, in negative ways, but in good ways. This is my responsibility now as someone who's committed a relationship is going to be a father. And when his best friend asked him for help, she's a private investigator, Moira MacFarlane. She's helped him over the years. She helps him more than he's ever helped her. She asked for his help. Her son had kind of a situation with his girlfriend, or probably his girlfriend now, where she put a restraining order on him. Moira thinks the son is still, let's call it, stalking his ex-girlfriend. And Moira's hired Rick to surveil him just to see what's going on. And Rick agrees to. And when he does, he finds out that there's more going on than possible breaking of a temporary restraining order. And things spool and unwind from there. And it widens out to a much bigger situation.
Well, I'm so excited to read this book. It is, I love the fact that you've sort of tied these, kind of current events and CTE being this really, terrifying condition to sort of create this ticking clock for Rick. And I'm just like so excited about this book. And I know that a lot of other people are as well. What was the most challenging thing about writing Last Redemption?
Well, each book seems to have its own problems, and none of them, they should be getting easier the more I write them, and they're not. They seem to be getting harder for some reason. One issue was I kind of ignored my normal process for a while. I don't outline. I'm what people call a pantser, right by the seat of your pants. Here in San Diego, the writing groups I've been in, we always called it blank pager. In honor of Raymond Chandler, who said every day I'd look at the blank, page in his typewriter. Right. So blank pager, and I don't. I start with a major subplot that Rick has to deal with in his personal life, and then from there I find a through story that will either challenge what he has to deal with, or maybe not be related, but he'll always be emotionally involved in whatever case he takes. Right. Or it's not interesting for me. It's not interesting for the reader. And then once he becomes emotionally involved, he takes chances. He does things that he normally wouldn't do. But he's got this the thing that goes back to his wife who was murdered, whether he didn't kill her, but he felt responsible for not being there when she needed him, when he normally would have been. So throughout every book, when he takes a case, it's a chance for him to redeem himself. He's always searching for a chance for redemption. So thus, he's always emotionally involved in these big cases that I write about. And so sometimes they overlap with his subplot, sometimes they don't. Well, this one, there's no overlap. There's families involved. Rick's got a growing family coming up. Moira has a situation with her son, and Moira has been like family to him anyway.
Right.
The last 8 or 9 years, she had been the most important person in his life, really, until he met Leah. And so he's dealing with his own issues about, will I be able to be a functioning parent, and then seeing what Moira has to go through, and the way she's handling the situation with her son is just how it works. So there's definitely they intertwine, the case and the subplot intertwines, which always makes it fun. And then it becomes more personal for Rick, which is important for the drama.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing that's so fascinating to me about Rick as a character is that he really has taken on some pretty serious damage over the years, and that sort of leading with his heart in a lot of ways and his chin in a lot of other ways is I think one of the things that makes this character so absolutely compelling, and you just are dying to know what happens next to him. So I love the direction that this series is taking, and this is book number 8, which is just amazing. Please tell me that after Last Redemption, there is going to be a book number 9.
Well, I'm writing it right now. I have no idea what the title is. Kind of have no idea where, even though I'm halfway done with the first draft, where it's all going or how I'm going to get to where I want it to go. But there's another book, more challenges for Rick, more challenges for me as a writer.
Well, that's great. Well, you have, as always, you've created this amazing character that is just an absolute delight to read. This is such a wonderful series. Last Redemption is out November 21, and it is going to be a killer. So thank you so much for being here, Matt. You are awesome as always. If you are interested in picking up an arc or a galley of Last Redemption, you can just click the link below and we'll get that taken care of for you. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for having me.
All right. We're good.